Hello, and welcome to California Gun Law. I'm your host, Don Hammond, with another update on recent developments in California ammunition purchase law. Last week, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued its decision in the Rhode v. Bonta case, striking down California's background check requirement to buy ammunition. The gun community got all excited and started putting in online orders, but as I cautioned a few days ago, the legal status was unclear. There have been some developments, so I'll get into them in this video. I'll also go over the legal penalties that apply if you're charged with illegally transporting ammunition into California. I'm a licensed California attorney and a shooting instructor. I regularly help teach the 16-hour class that's required to get a concealed carry license in California. On this program, we provide education on California's complicated web of gun laws so that responsible gun owners like you can better understand how to lawfully exercise their rights. California has a complicated web of firearms, laws, and regulations, and there are lots of traps for the unwary. We want to help you do it right so that you won't need our criminal defense legal services. Today, I'll discuss legal updates since last week's ruling in Rhode v. Bonta, which was issued on July 24, 2025. In that decision, the Ninth Circuit upheld a district court injunction against the state of California enforcing background checks to purchase ammunition. The injunction would allow for out-of-state and online purchases of ammunition. The Ninth Circuit decision is 54 pages long, and it was published, so it's legally citable in future cases. That's good news for us. The conclusion is that by subjecting Californians to background checks for all ammunition purchases, California's ammunition background check regime infringes on the fundamental right to keep and bear arms. Because California's ammunition background check regime violates the Second Amendment, the district court did not abuse its discretion in granting a permanent injunction. That's a quote from the Ninth Circuit ruling. The injunction at issue prohibited California law enforcement, quote, from implementing or enforcing the ammunition sales background check provisions found in California Penal Code sections 30352 and 30370, subdivisions A through E, and the ammunition anti-importation provisions found in sections 30312A and B and 30314A, as well as the criminal enforcement of California Penal Code sections 30312 sub D, 30314 sub C, and 30365 sub A. Immediately after the decision, it was unclear if it took effect right away. Some online retailers began taking orders and shipping ammo to Californians' doorsteps. Other retailers took a more cautious approach, waiting for clarity. On Monday, the DOJ issued Advisory Memo number 166, directing California ammunition vendors to continue conducting background checks pending the court issuing a mandate. A mandate is a legal order implementing a decision and transferring jurisdiction back to the district court. It often takes a few months for the court to issue its mandate. In the meantime, Attorney General Bonta's office will likely ask the court to take the case up for rehearing before an en banc panel. That's a group of additional judges who would reconsider the decision. The court may issue a stay pending that decision, or the court may decline to issue a stay, or the court may decline to hear the case en banc. There are a lot of unknowns. So, the California DOJ says the Rhode decision has not yet taken effect. Many online retailers are now canceling orders and not accepting new orders. There still may be some that are accepting orders. I don't have a comprehensive list of what every company is doing. Feel free to enlighten us in the comments regarding your recent experiences, or those of your friends. It appears that maybe we had a Freedom Week type of situation for about 4 days, where a lot of people ordered a lot of ammo to be delivered to California doorsteps. And it's unclear if those orders were legal. Now, people have questions about the legality of their online orders and taking delivery. I think it's still legally unclear. The DOJ says it is illegal. The DOJ saying it is illegal does not make that true. One person sent me a copy of a notification from UPS saying that his Midway USA shipment was pending release from a government agency. So that's interesting. The notice says that delivery will be delayed by 1 business day. Of course, that could be extended. So maybe somebody at DOJ is very busy trying to track down the thousands of packages that Californians ordered in a couple of days. I happen to know that someone's Midway USA order was out for delivery today, and just before going live for recording this, I got a notification that it was delivered, to my friend, of course. One question is, if you ordered ammo and you take delivery, what is the legal consequence of that? Well, I'm glad you asked. Assuming that it is not legal, which I still think is unclear, the applicable penal code sections are 303.12 and 303.14. Penal Code Section 303.12 requires all ammunition transactions to go through a vendor in a face-to-face transaction. Online transactions are authorized as long as the online retailer ships the ammo to a licensed vendor in California. So the online retailer may be in violation of this section, but I don't think it applies to the individual person who placed the order. Some prosecutors may disagree with me on that and try to charge people with this section. Violation of this section is a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in county jail and up to a $1,000 fine. We'll talk more about the practical impact in a minute. I think Section 303.14 is probably more applicable. It prohibits California residents from bringing or transporting ammunition into the state if they purchased or otherwise obtained the ammo outside the state, unless it is first delivered to a licensed ammunition vendor in California. Violation of this section is an infraction for a first offense. Such an infraction is punishable by a fine not exceeding $250, according to Penal Code Section 19.8b. If you're convicted a second time, it can be another infraction, or it may be charged as a misdemeanor. As a misdemeanor, a second violation of Section 303.14 would be punishable by up to 6 months in county jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Under either statute, especially given the confusion of the recent court decision, it's likely the judges would grant diversion. Diversion is a legal procedure by which the defendant completes some agreed-upon terms in exchange for a dismissal of the case. So if you ordered ammo online over the last few days and you're somehow caught and charged, there's a strong likelihood that you can come out the other side with your clean criminal history intact. After all, I've gotten diversions for clients in much more serious cases, including brandishing guns and knives, carrying guns illegally, battery on a peace officer, and all kinds of other charges. There are no guarantees, of course, but an experienced attorney should be able to convince a judge to cut you a break in these circumstances. Let us know in the comments if your friends know of any online retailer that is still shipping directly to California residences. I know a few people who still might like to place some orders. I'm Don Hammond at California Gun Law, and we'll catch you all next time. Stay informed, stay legal, stay safe.